Randy White.
Money long as a mile. Fuck it up, do that shit with a smile. Back it up, then she gon' drop it down.
And I just want to quickly say before the video starts that over 60% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet, so make sure to drop a sub. It is 100% free for you guys to do. We're grinding super hard to 50k subscribers, so make sure to help me out by dropping a sub. In today's video, I'm going to be going over how you can 100% fully edit your very own Fortnite highlights video in both Davinci Resolve and After Effects. But with that being said, I'm going to be going over syncing, adding effects, transitions, all that good stuff, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And if you guys want to keep up to date with me, make sure to go follow my Twitter. I'll have the link to that in the pinned comment as well as the description. And as always, I'll have all the links to the plugins, presets, and downloads in the description, as well as the timestamps if you want to skip ahead to that. But with that being said, I hope you guys do enjoy, and I'm going to hop into Davinci Resolve. Alright guys, so I am in a brand new Davinci Resolve project. Our settings are just 1920 by 1080, like you can see, 60 FPS. You can easily just change this to 2560 by 1440 by just typing that in. But yeah, pretty much what I'm going to be showing you guys how to do is how to just sync up two different clips with a song, give you a cinematic intro breakdown, and we'll pretty much move on from there. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have everything you're going to be using. For me, I got these two clips right here. I got my cinematic and I got my song. By the way, I just released a cinematic pack if you want to check that out. I'll have a link to that in the description if you guys want to head over there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all these and just drag them into the media pool right here. I'm going to bring up my effects library too so we can access that later on. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do is drag our song in. So I'm just going to drag it in just like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to find the points in the song where we want to hit our beat. So we can see in the actual audio track, we can see that there are peaks in this actual audio. So we're just going to lay down markers right here. We're just going to add a second marker right here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to cut off the excess just like this. Just size it down a bit on the left just to give us some space for our cinematic. Something I always do is I always add a red marker afterwards to the hi-hat of the song just as a transition point between the two clips just so it's easier for syncing. But once we've actually laid out our markers, we're just going to drag this down an audio track and we're going to put in our first clip, which is going to be this charge clip. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to size it down just like this. We're going to put our playback head, which is this red thing right here, on the actual marker. We're just going to slide it along till we actually hit the shot. And we can see the numbers right here. We're going to drag it out just like this, just for now until we actually start working with the cinematic, but this should be good. And we can see that it is pretty much synced up. So to actually add velocity, just right click on your clip, unlink them just like this, right click again, go into retime controls, click on this black triangle right here, press add speed point, go back to right after we edit the tile, and we can see there's a bit of debris right here. Right after the debris actually goes away, we're just going to add a speed point, go to the middle, add a speed point, make this 50%, make the other one 200%, and then make the last one 50%. From there, put your playback head on the actual beat. We're going to drag this out so this actually lines up, and we're going to overlap it a tiny bit just so it looks like this. And just like that, we've actually added velocity to our first clip. So now what we're going to do with the second clip, we're just going to add it just like this. We're going to size it down just to where we actually get the kill, just like this, right about here. All right, so I've pretty much just dragged in my second clip over here. And what we're going to do for this one, since it's a sniper clip, is our alternative velocity. So for this, we're going to right click on it, go into our retime curve, select this drop down right here and select retime speed. Add a speed point on where we get the kill, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames back. Add another speed point, drag this up to 300%, go 1, 2, 3 frames to the right. Add another speed point, drag this up to 150 just like this, and then the other one we're going to drag down to 60 just like this. From there, we're just going to click on each point and ease them just like this. Press this, ease it, and then we're going to put our playback head on the marker and line it back up with the curve. And then we're just going to shorten it on either side. And we're just going to shorten it on the end. And just like that, we have a shotgun time remap clip and a sniper time remap clip. You can use either velocity for any clip you desire. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually add effects. The effects I'm going to first show are for plugins, so you're going to need Sapphire and BCC plugins, but if you guys want an alternative, I'll have a no plugins preset linked in the description as well. So make sure you just drag in an adjustment clip starting on the kill and ending at the very end of the clip, just like this, like you can see. Go into the Fusion tab, and you're just going to drag in one of the presets. I'll have one of my presets linked in the description just like this, and I'm going to drag in this hard impact lens blur preset like we can see right here. It'll take a second to load, and from there we're just going to disconnect this, connect this, and then connect this one right here. And just like that, we can see that we have a nice impact already where it goes a nice little lens blur with a shake. It has a Y shake as well, and there is a bit of a flicker too. Just because it isn't anything too crazy, we don't need a hard impact. But for this, we're obviously going to turn the brightness of the glow down because it is a bit too bright. I'm going to change it to something like a pink. But we should see just like that, we have a nice little impact as well as a impact on this one. All that's left to do is to transition between these two clips, and something cool that Davinci Resolve 17 has built in are these little preset transitions, but I'm going to actually go into more advanced transitions. You can use those if you want, but I'm going to drag in an adjustment clip, and I'm going to show you how to manually add in your own transitions. So for this, we're going to go into the adjustment clip fusion tab. We're going to look up blur mo curves just like this, press add. We're going to find the transitioning point, which is going to be this frame right here. So this is the transitioning point. What we're going to do is we're going to make this on the actual transitioning point 0.7, and we're going to go back a frame, and we're going to make it the opposite. So it should be something like 1.4. We should see it'll do a nice little zoom out. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. From this point right here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames back. Change this value to 1, which is the default distance. And on this one, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames forward. Change this one to 1, which is the default distance. And that should be already a decent transition, like you can see. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph edit it. Make sure you have your wrap X and wrap Y on reflect. Just like that, we should see that it is a zoom, like a zoom out transition almost. So you zoom out, and then it comes from in. To actually edit the graph, we're going to click on the spline icon right here, select the blur mo curves, press this little icon right here, and we're actually going to make this a bit tighter, expand this just a tiny bit, and we're just going to give us a bit more space to work with. Make sure you press Control A and S on your keyboard. All that'll do is it'll give these points a nice little curve. For this one, bring this in. Bring this point right here. Give this one a really sharp point by bringing it down, and then do the exact same thing. And then do the exact same thing on this side by going like this and bringing this point in like this. That should be fine. But that's pretty much how to add your transitions. All that's left to do is our little cinematic intro kind of thing. So this is from my cinematic pack. I'm just going to unlink all these, get rid of the audio, and we're just going to, actually we're using this bone pile highlights thing. So we're just going to right click on it, go to retime controls, slide it down just like this so it's faster. Nothing too crazy, but all we got to do from there is just go to our effects, go to fusion composition. We're just going to drag in a fusion composition at the very top of our clips just like this. We're going to size it down to the actual length of the cinematic. Go into the fusion tab. All right, once we're in the fusion tab for it, all we got to do is just drag in the Excel text just like this, connect the points to the media out, and then you can just edit the text to say whatever you want. So you can make it highlights number 20, make it highlights number 15, whatever you want. You can just change it. And lastly, guys, just drag all your stuff up a track. I'm going to show you how to do color correction, and I have color correction presets. I've showed how to actually use them. If you want to check that out, I'll have a link to a video explaining that in the description. Just look up looks in your open effects tab. You'll need it installed if you guys don't already have it. Open your inspector right here, go to your effects, edit look. And what this will do pretty much is it is just basic color correction. I have my own right here, like different ones from my past highlights videos. I'm going to use my kickback color correction, which is super nice. You can see what it will do. I'll show you almost the difference between the two. It takes it from almost like a dull color to something like that. Super nice. Boosts all the colors in general. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the Davinci portion. I hope you guys did enjoy that. Hopefully I was clear enough and helped you guys out in terms of editing your own highlights video. But if you guys are new to the channel and you want to drop a sub, it is 100% free. I'm constantly putting out tutorials that you guys can use to learn and get better at editing. But I'm going to be moving on to the After Effects portion, so I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, so I'm in a brand new After Effects project. I just have the composition settings set to 1920 by 1086 fps. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to drag in our song. We're going to bring up our audio levels by pressing L twice. Just shorten it down here. We can see this is where our first beat is going to be. We're just going to mark out the first beat by right clicking on it, going to markers and adding a marker. I'm just going to label it kill by going to the settings right here. And then right here, obviously this is also where we're going to put another marker like we did in the Davinci one. So I'm just going to name this one kill as well. And then again, like I said before, you can just label this as transition point. The hi-hat after the beat is always the best point to transition at. And then we're just going to drag this out so we have room for the cinematic. And then we're just going to press Control-Shift-D and get rid of the rest of our actual audio. So we're just left with this. So the first thing we do is we're going to drag in our clip just like this. And we're actually going to find the point where we get the kill. So we're just going to keep on shortening it down, kind of to just give it the space that we're working with. Once we actually find the point where we get the kill, we're just going to add a marker. I just use N on my keyboard, add a marker, and then we're just going to line this up right here with the actual beat on the song. And then we're going to come back just a bit and actually trim the clip down just on either side, just like this. All we gotta do once we've actually synced it up is just go to our animation right here, go to animation presets, and then just apply the velocity preset I'll have in the description. You need the BCC plugins for this because that is what I use for my velocity. And then just turn off frame blending, just because I find frame blending kind of looks weird when you're using it for highlights velocity. I'm just going to get our second clip just like this, which is a zone wars clip. We're just going to drag it out just like this. We're going to line it up with our marker, and we're going to just find the point where we get our kill right about here. And we're going to shorten it to the transitioning point shorten it down to the end of the song. Go to animation again, apply animation preset, apply the animation preset, do this, line it up, be good, turn off frame blending. And just like that, we have our clips fully synced with velocity on them. All we got to do from there, press Control-Shift-D just to kind of shorten these adjustment clips. Just cut it just like this. And then all you got to do from there is just apply the impact preset. I'll have linked in the description. So we're just going to go back here and I'm going to just add this God impact just like this. And just adjust your keyframes just so they actually fit inside of the adjustment clip. And yeah, that's pretty much that. It's just a super quick way to add your impact. And even if you want, you can just copy paste it and add it to this clip right here. Just have it right here and then just adjust your keyframes to the end of the clip right here. But yeah, once you actually have your impacts, I'm just going to drag this down so it's directly over top. You can just add your transitions, nothing too crazy, just press Control-Alt-Y on your keyboard. And I did show how to do it manually in Davinci, so I'm going to show you manually how to do it here. All you got to do, look up blur mode curves, add that to your adjustment clip between the 2 points right here. And then we're actually just going to bring up our keyframing menu just right here by clicking down on this drop down right here. We're going to actually keyframe our Z distance on this point right here at 0.7, the transitioning point. We're going to go one frame before, we're going to keyframe it at 1.4, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames back, keyframe this at 1, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames forward, change this to 1, easy ease all of these right here, go into your actual graph just like this by selecting all of these. And then we are just going to select these points and then just copy the graph that I do right here. So something like this should just be good for this. All we got to do is just change these to reflect, by the way. You don't want to have black edges. Doesn't really look clean. And yeah, that's pretty much how you make a transition. But I'll have a preset linked if you want to just use that instead and don't feel like manually doing it. All you got to do from there is just go back to your media pool and find the highlights. Like I said, I do have a free cinematic pack that you guys can use. Press Control-Alt-T on your keyboard. Just add a keyframe at whatever point you want. And I'm just going to drag this back just like this. And the cool thing about After Effects is you can just time remap it just so it looks a lot cleaner. Press F9 on your keyboard. Select these points right here. Zoom out just like this, just so you have a lot of space to work with. And then bring this point up right about here. Bring this point down like this, and what that'll do is it'll add a nice little time remapped cinematic to the actual intro. And all you got to do from there is just add your text or your ident. So I'm just going to be adding my ident to this just like this. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the tutorial, guys. I just showed you how to do almost like a little intro with impacts, transitions, all that stuff. But if you guys did enjoy, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It is 100% free to do so. If you guys did enjoy this After Effects tutorial, also be sure to give me a comment down below letting me know what you thought of it. I'm going to continue to do these dual platform tutorials because I feel like it helps the most people possible. Like I said, we're grinding super hard, posting daily to 50K, so make sure to drop some support, and I hope you guys enjoy. Peace out.